Good afternoon. Today's topic of discussion is going to be the Summerlin West 89138 Las Vegas real estate market update for March 2014. I'm Dale Snyder with the Snyder Group at Team Driven Real Estate here at Keller Williams Realty, your Summerlin specialists. Before we jump in, I want to make a note of one thing here that's super important. SummerlinWestLiving.com. That's going to be in the description below, but it's SummerlinWestLiving.com is a website we've put together for you, the people that live in the community where we live, so you can keep a pulse on what's going on. So you can go there to see all the homes for sale and all the homes for rent in our zip code, and you can also get restaurant reviews, and if you happen to be a business owner and you'd like us to promote your business, just shoot me a quick note because we want to make sure that we're promoting all of the people that live in the area and the businesses around our community. There's a couple other hot buttons right now too. One is going to be the Red Rock or the shops at Summerlin, and then the rezoning of Gibbons Elementary, or the potential rezoning. So make sure to subscribe to this newsletter or subscribe to our YouTube channel to make sure you keep up to date on that information, because it's critically important if you live in the area to keep a pulse on this stuff because it impacts your housing values. All right, so let's jump right into the data of what's going on in Summerlin West. So the quick overview is what I want to start with. We are seeing inventory go up at an increasing rate. I've got some great data here broken down by three different price points: $250,000 and under, $250,000 to $500,000, and $500,000 and up. I'm going to go through that in a moment. But know that at the end of this video in the description below, you're going to be able to get access to this great content that we're putting together every month for you. So let me start with a quick summary here. We are seeing inventory go up drastically. We're in the spring season, so that's historically we see that. But if you look at the absorption rate or the amount of time it takes to absorb the inventory that we have, when you go up in the price points, it's dramatically increasing right now. So let me start by just going over what the data is. So right now, currently, we have 72 homes for sale in the 89138 zip code, 10 of which are short sales, 8 of which are bank-owned, and here's the kicker. Only one of these short sales was put on the market this year. Most of these short sales have been on and off the market, in and out of contract since 2012, some since 2011, which isn't uncommon. You know, most, how do I say this professionally? Most short sales aren't negotiated properly, and that's why there's such a delay. Others, there's just a lot of hang-ups, and a lot of the short sales we're seeing on the market now are ones that just have a huge amount of issues that go along with them: tax liens, bankruptcies, haven't made my payment in 4 years kind of stuff. So severely delinquent. So there's a lot of those challenges as well. Let me go into what's in contract right now. We currently have 54 homes in the zip code in contract, of which 23 of them are short sales, 4 are bank-owned, and only 3 of the 23 short sales have come on the market this year. Some of them, I look to see, some of them have been on the market since the early part of 2011. That's 3 years these short sales have been lingering on our market. So what I do is I like to include the short sales into the still actives, because they're the big question marks of what's going to happen. Are they still going to be here in 2 years? So that leaves us with 95. And you'll notice when you go to SummerlinWestLiving.com, when you look at how many we have active, those are still included as well. All right, so let's look at February. We saw 15 homes sell in the month of February. That's down. As you look at this data, in the description below, as I mentioned, you'll see that historically, as of last year, the numbers are about where they should be. You know, January and February were a little flip-flopped. We had more closings this January than we did January of 2013, but this February, we're down in closings as compared to February of last year. So if you look at the 6-month rolling average, we're seeing about 25 homes sell per month. If you look at the last year as a whole, we averaged 28 homes per month, which ends up being about a home a day. That was what we saw last year. So back to February. 1 closed was a short sale. 1 was an REO, And one of the short sales closed actually came on the market in 90 days or less. So that one closed quickly. The rest all were lingering from years and years past. Of the closings for February, 9 of the 15 were cash. So that's about 60% or so are going to cash buyers. So let me jump into some analysis here of what I think is the most important thing to cover. If you, and we're going to pull these graphs up as I go. So we're going to start with the 250,000 and under. If you look at the inventory, you will see the blue bar graph and then the red bar graph. If you look at this graph, you'll see that the amount of homes in escrow, which is the blue, and then the amount of homes available for sale in the red. I'm going to tie this all together in a moment. Let's just go to the next price point. If you look at the 250,000 to 500,000 inventory graph, look at the amount in escrow in the blue purple and then the amount on the market in the red. Now take a look at the 500,000 and up inventory graph. The purple, blue, which you can barely see, is the amount in escrow, and the red are the available homes on the market. So tying this together, I'm just going to quickly say what we have currently for a absorption rate of our current inventory based on the 90-day rolling average. And then I'm going to tie this together. So you'll see in the 250,000 and under, we have about a 4.36 months supply of inventory. In the 250 to 500,000, we have a 6-month supply of inventory. And if you go in the 500,000 and up, we have a 12-month supply of inventory. So seasonally, you're going to see that we see more sales in the summertime, right? If you look at the total sales graph from the 250,000 and under price point range, you're going to see some of the seasonality. And then look at the $251,000 to $500,000 price range for total sales. You'll see that there is some seasonality in there as well. And then the 500,000 and up total sales. So here's our pulse right now, living and specializing in the area and selling more homes than any other realtor in the area. In fact, our team has sold as much as out of the top 10, our team has sold as much as the other 9 combined. So I'm not telling you that to brag, that's just that we do have a good pulse on what's going on in the area. We are seeing a lot of homes starting to come onto the market. And when you look at the rate at which our inventory is increasing, knowing that a 4 to 6 month supply of inventory is a stable market, and from my experience, about a 4 to 5 months supply of inventory is a stable market where it's not in the seller's favor or the buyer's favor. So in the $250,000 to $500,000 price point right now, you are seeing the market turning into the buyer's favor because of the amount of inventory we have. And if you go 500,000 and above, then it's definitely in the seller's favor. The 250,000 and under is where it's about stable. It's still a seller-buyer's market. So in summary, if you're considering selling or buying in the area, the great thing is, as a buyer, there's a lot of options right now. As a seller, as I've mentioned for many, many months in these videos, you're going to have to price your property more aggressively. This is not the time where you press the market. If you do have a unique product where it's on a unique lot, extremely upgraded, great floor plan, one of the more desired subdivisions in the zip code, then it's a little different. There are still a good percentage of those cash buyers that are willing to pay a premium. You know, we're getting ready to close on one right now that had a unique lot, and we are getting overappraised value just due to the uniqueness of that property. The others are taking longer to sell right now. You know, we have some that should be selling because of, you know, we're priced right with where the comparable sales are, but they're not selling. Just due to the amount of inventory in that $250,000 to $500,000 price range to choose from. So once again, this is Dale Snyder with the Snyder Group at Keller Williams Realty. Make sure to check out our website, SummerlinWestLiving.com. If you have any questions, reach out to me. Otherwise, if you like the video, make sure to share it, and have yourself a fantastic day. you.